Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
Archaeologists are scared to death to open the tomb of the first emperor of China. It was accidentally discovered in 1974 when Chinese farmers digging a well dug up a life-size ceramic statue of an ancient warrior. They reported it, which started an excavation project that uncovered not dozens, not hundreds, but literal thousands of these figures buried underground. Known as the Terracotta Army, there were more than 8,000 life-size soldiers discovered, each with unique facial features, along with war horses, chariots, generals, musicians, and acrobats. Almost like someone just froze an entire city ready to go to war, some even being equipped with real weapons and armor, all surrounding the mausoleum of ancient China's first recorded emperor, Qin Shi Huang, and are said to be guarding him in the afterlife. Large parts of the mausoleum were excavated, but the central mound where the emperor's body is thought to be remains untouched for a pretty disturbing reason. Initially built around 200 BC, meaning that no one has been inside of it for over 2,000 years. It's thought to have taken over 700,000 workers about 40 years to build this monument and all of its statues, and was surrounded with secrecy for its entire construction period. So much that it's believed the emperor had every worker executed after finishing their work to safeguard its secrets. We wouldn't even know much about it if it wasn't for ancient Chinese historian Sima Qian, who revealed its secrets in his writings. Allegedly, inside the tomb is an exact model of the universe through the eyes of the Chinese emperor, with glimmering pearls on the ceiling as stars, and a replica of the entire Qin kingdom on the floor, surrounded by rivers and oceans made from a very lethal substance. Records claim the entire tomb to be elaborately booby-trapped, designed to end the life of anyone who enters, complete with Indiana Jones style wire-tripped arrows and crossbows, even rumors of poison gas, and speculation of indoor rivers of tens of thousands of tons of liquid mercury, which is highly toxic to humans, along with mechanisms in place set to make it flow unexpectedly towards any intruders. Emperor Qin Shi Huang was obsessed with the secrets of immortality and rediscovering the lost knowledge of our past, and is said to have consumed elixirs containing mercury in his quest for eternal life. It clearly didn't work out so well for him, but his tomb may hold the answers we're looking for, as radar scans done around the area revealed a sealed chamber as big as a football field beneath the pyramid-shaped mound of the mausoleum, suspected to be the lost tomb. And core sample studies did in fact reveal high amounts of mercury in the ground around the tomb as well, so the records of our ancient historian may very well be true. For 50 years now, archaeologists have avoided it, and the government restricted further excavation out of fear of damaging the tomb, getting shot in the face with an arrow, or potentially even mercury poisoning, claiming to enforce these restrictions in an effort to preserve the ancient site. But maybe they already took a peek inside and just didn't want anyone to know what they found.
If it was me and I was running the excavation, I'd send in some Tesla robots. Or get them dogs from Boston Dynamics. Shout outs to Phil's Pixel. This one was interesting.
A couple hours ago, I received a message from journalists in China asking me why there are so many Americans flocking to Red Note. We have caused such a ruckus, made such a large impact not only on their social media, but their people and their society in general, that they're asking me, why are so many Americans coming to Red Note? And these are just one of the first of many messages, and they're giving me their address and emails and so on. And they're actually downright curious on why we are coming to Red Note. So to the journalists in China that is interested about this information, here you go. And the reason why is because our US government sucks. They are trying to fully take away our communication and our rights and our freedom of speech entirely. TikTok was the one app that they couldn't control through social media or anything else, so that way they can paint a narrative of how they see fit. The US government is trying to paint a picture that China is trying to steal our data, but we all knew that's not the case. In fact, we all know that it's nothing but a complete lie. The only reason why they want to ban TikTok is because they want to silence our voices entirely. Our government does not care about us. In fact, they never did. All they care about is oppressing us. All they care about is making sure they win in the way that they see fit. All they care about is promoting the rich, filling their own pockets, and making sure they get even richer. Our government is completely anti-China, and they recently passed a bill for $1.6 billion to promote anti-China propaganda. We completely understand that the reason why they want to shut down TikTok is because we can see the world of how it truly is, that the world isn't as hateful or as regretful or as terrifying or evil as they try to make it seem. We also understand that China is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. They try to paint it as this downright evil and communistic country that is just breaking down and terrifying, and they oppress their own people. They are also trying to make it seem that China has no type of freedom whatsoever. We all understand that that's nothing but a lie. Our Supreme Court, our House, our governments, our leaders, they are nothing but cockroaches and leeches. They do not protect the people. They do not protect us. They do not help us. Our own US social medias like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, they all sell our data to other people, to the highest bidder, or to the US government without our permission. They have done this countless times, and our leaders do absolutely nothing about it. Our governments, our leaders, they are nothing but money-hungry, grubbing leeches who wants nothing but power, money, and control over us. There are states, cities, and people that are dying, that are sick, that are burning away, and they do nothing in return. Our insurance companies are rejecting our claims and canceling our insurance policies because they do not want to pay for us, because it affects their profits, their stockholders, and their investors. They care about the rich more than they care about their own citizens. And the people of the United States are tired of it. We're done. We're so fucking fed up. We can't do anything physically because if we try to, they will undoubtedly use force. So now, since they want to be so anti-China and think that there's Chinese spies in TikTok, which there aren't, and they want to conjure up all these lies trying to make it seem like China are trying to brainwash American citizens into thinking that the government is bad, which they actually are. They want us censored. They are trying to take away our First Amendment right of freedom of speech. They do not want us to know the truth about who they actually are and what they're actually doing. This has gone on for long enough, and we're done. Hawaii has been burned to the ground. Los Angeles is being burned to the ground. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people homeless because their insurance companies has fucked them. They have abandoned the American people. New York City is being flooded. Florida is getting hit by multiple hurricanes. Texas is slowly being destroyed. Everything is too expensive and Americans cannot afford basic things to live. Our country refuses to give us universal health care even though they spent billions and trillions of dollars on military equipment. That and other things that we do not need, like anti-China propaganda. And they spend loads of money on themselves and not for the people. America is not the greatest country in the world. In fact, it's far from it. This country is corrupted to its core. Yeah, America may seem pretty from wherever you are, but the truth is, this country is slowly destroying itself from the inside because all our leaders care about is what they put in their pockets. They just want power and control. Our wildlife is dying and being burnt to the ground, and thousands of people are dying. There are too much happening in the United States, and all they care about is banning TikTok. Are you kidding me? This is why so many American citizens are flooding to Red Note. It's because we cannot rely on our own government. So if they do ban TikTok, we will use Red Note as a means of fighting back. But you know what? This has worked out better than we could possibly imagine. Because now we are even closer with China because of this than we are with America. And this is something that they did not want to happen. And yet, it did anyway. The US government ended up creating a problem that they did not want to exist, nor did it exist in the first place. But guess what? Now, that problem that they were so afraid of happening has actually happened. This is the American citizens' way of revolutioning. So they have one or two choices. One, they can ban TikTok and we'll just go to Red Note instead. Or two, they can stop trying to fucking silence us and let us keep TikTok. It's one or the other. Either way, they're not going to get what they want, and we're going to make damn sure of that. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. This is Onyx. You can find me on Red Note, and you can find me here. I am gone.
Shout out to that guy Onyx. Give that young man a round of applause. He's very articulate and he makes a strong argument. Shout out to Gen Z, man. It's best we listen to them, understand where they're coming from, because they hold the keys to the future, whether you believe it or not. So I salute this young man. The revolution is televised.
Okay, I need to know if any other Chinese people feel the same way as I do about how I'm finding it a bit weird with all the Americans flooding Xiaohongshu recently. Anyway, like up until recently, our language was mocked and our accents were mocked and our music was turned into a meme. And now a Chinese app has been flooded by American TikTok users who are now acting buddy-buddy with everyone on there. I think it just weirds me out because if it wasn't for the potential TikTok ban, so many of these people would not discover that China is just a normal country. I don't know why it's taken so long for people to realize that China is like every other country out there. Like, do you think we're swinging from trees? Wow, I didn't know China had such big cities. I didn't know China was so diverse. Have you seen how big China is? Do you know how many dialects we have? China is a massive country and incredibly diverse. It is beautiful. So the fact that it took something being taken away from you to educate yourself on that, like, that rubs me the wrong way. If TikTok wasn't going to be possibly banned, so many of these people wouldn't figure that out. Wow, Chinese people are actually nice. Wow, they're actually so sweet on this app. Because we have manners, unlike so many Americans, I think it just really rubs me the wrong way that after being mocked for so long on this app, now, because it benefits you, you're coming to the realization that Chinese people are humans. Xenophobia is extremely ingrained in American culture. I can't tell you the amount of times I was out with a person or went on a date with a person and they were like, okay, so what's your ethnicity? Are you Korean? Are you Japanese? And I say, no, I'm Chinese. And the reaction is almost always, oh. And one guy told me I'm pretty for a Chinese girl. You're kind of attractive for a Chinese person. Like, what? Like, my jaw dropped. And people love to see certain things like certain nail styles and certain makeup styles and call it Korean when it's Chinese, to see our culture displayed and to call it Japanese. No, it's safe to say that America hates China. Oh yeah, China's terrible, so be scared of China, not your own country. Oh yeah, in China they could kill you. Well, at least in China, children don't have to wear bulletproof backpacks. Listen, I'm American too, but China is still my country as well. And those are my people, and I would hate for them to be taken advantage of. And they are so kind to let us into their safe space. And now I'm seeing posts that are like skibbity or like really stupid memes. I don't even want to talk about the comments I've seen on Chinese men's posts. Yeah, can we not comment "rail me daddy," please? And the sad part is, they don't know what that means. So it just feels like another way people are taking advantage of them. Stop infantilizing us too. Oh my god, your English is so cute. Oh my god, they're so cute on that app. What is with people loving to infantilize Asian people? I don't get it. Anyways, I will be taking down this video if it reaches the wrong audience. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Shout outs to Madeline.pdf. Just plugging in her 2 cents. I feel she has every right to feel the way she does. And I applaud her for her honesty and courage for bringing her truth to light. It's good to see how people really feel about certain situations.
Hi everyone, I was getting ready to sleep about 2 hours ago and now I'm still awake. You know why? I cannot stop myself scrolling on Red Note. It's all about TikTok refugees. Oh my god. Alright, so for people who has already downloaded this app, the biggest problem you've met is probably the language. And if you want to know how to set the Red Note from Chinese to English, you can go to my homepage. The last video I've posted is to show you how to set it. And all I want to say is that welcome everybody.
Thank you for accepting the refugees. Shout out to Insulin072. Make sure you check her page if you want to know how to change the settings. Happy she even finds it entertaining.
Going to Red Note is a bad idea. I didn't want to have to make this video because I wanted to believe people were smart enough to realize this, but I guess I have to. Several people have asked me to make a Red Note account and I'm not going to. Red Note is actually owned by the Chinese Communist Party. I don't know about you, but I can't read Mandarin, and I'm willing to bet that 99% of Americans also can't read Mandarin. And the ones that can probably didn't sit down to read the terms and conditions. Based on the content of the app, I'm willing to bet that you gave them consent to use your microphone as well as your camera, and also potentially gave them access to your photo album. On the outside looking in, that seems pretty innocent, right? We do that here with American companies. except for the fact that the Chinese government has been trying to undermine the US for years. And if you happen to work in government, critical infrastructure, or banking, or you have a spouse that works in any of those fields, you potentially have just now given them access to a treasure trove of data. You gave them your camera and your microphone, so now they can watch and listen to conversations between you and your coworkers and you and your spouse. You might have even given them access to mirror your phone, meaning they could make a copy of all of the data on your phone if they want. How many of you have a screenshotted list on your phone of all of your banking usernames and passwords, or maybe the username and password to your work terminal? Or how many of you have a notes application in your phone that has the same information? Your little act of defiance against our dumb government potentially could put our country as a whole in great danger. Yeah, China has access to our critical infrastructure now already, but they potentially have far more access now. But hey, I'm glad you're sticking it to the man or whatever.
Shout outs to Commonwealth Prepper, giving his word of advice for those sticking it to the man. He makes some good points right there. Something to keep in mind when downloading this app that has the whole social media universe in a frenzy.
It's time to wake up, y'all. What are we gonna do about this?
On Monday, RedNote became the most downloaded app on Apple's App Store in the US by users who call themselves TikTok refugees.
Hello, a big welcome for my refugee friends.
Hey friends from TikTok, I am Abe from China, and I just want to say it's so amazing to have you here.
The US will announce on the 19th of January whether it's banning TikTok. So people are moving over to RedNote in case the ban takes place. RedNote has already got 300 million monthly users. And in case you've never used it before, it's a bit like a combination between TikTok and Instagram. At the moment, it's mainly popular with young people in Mandarin-speaking countries for its mix of lifestyle, fashion, and dating content. RedNote seems to have welcomed new users with open arms, but just like TikTok, there's also been concerns of censorship when it comes to criticism on the app of the Chinese government. And in Taiwan, public officials are restricted from using it due to alleged security risks of Chinese software. But these security concerns haven't stopped users in the US.
I promise you, Americans are not lasting a month on RedNote because of the community guidelines. Number 1, adhere to the Chinese Constitution and its laws. Americans don't know their own constitution. You want them to learn the Chinese one too? Practice the core socialist values. Yo, this is a capitalist country. You know, a country where people post money spreads and sell courses. They are not adhering to socialist values. Promote the excellent traditional culture of the Chinese nation. Look, the only part about Chinese culture they're accepting is beef and broccoli and red envelopes. It's just not happening, okay? I don't see the vision. I'm gonna start posting my videos on OfferUp. Catch me there.
How you feel, U.S. government? How you feel now? 2 days ago, I had no idea what Redbook was, or RedNote. Didn't even know it was a real app. Didn't know, had no idea. Now, if you've been following me long enough, you know about Hollyweird, and you know how late I am on certain things, so you know I'm not lying. I had no idea what RedNote was. But the U.S. government started fucking with me. And now I know about Redbook. It's like firefighters going out to elementary schools, teaching kids how not to start fires by telling them how fires start. And then those kids start fires. 2 days ago, China didn't have my phone number. I just willingly gave it to them just now. And that's your fault, U.S. government. You did that. I didn't do that. You did that. And now I'm about to go make some content for some Chinese people. And they seem very nice over there. I feel like an NBA player who wasn't getting the right amount of love where he was at, so he decided to play overseas. And now he playing overseas and he getting some love, some real love, because they know we just want to play some ball. I'm just here to have some fun. I just want to play some ball. Oh, also, it's not RedNote or Redbook. It's Xiaohongshu. I'm now on Xiaohongshu. 2 days ago, I couldn't say that. So to the U.S. government, I just want to say, Shishini.
Yo, that's hilarious. Shout out to Domo Dropper. He makes a good point. A lot of people ain't know about this joint. Heck, I found out about it yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. You should see it. Like, the exodus is real.
So she finds all kinds of explosives just 24 hours after this warning went out. We'll come right back to this video in 1 second. Is anybody aware that we had 3 different organizations come out today and tell us that we have a massive threat for another New Orleans type attack? Before we go any further, TikTok is speculation based off all the mainstream news outlets. Long story short, in his interview, a bunch of things were brought up. He said that things like in the mirror, it says closer than they appear. That's what the threats that we're facing in this country. He also called them unprecedented, like massive threats to this country. For validation purposes, we also have the Jerusalem Post saying U.S. agencies warn of potential New Orleans type situation. And we've heard this from multiple different people. Accredited people. Just the first 2 weeks of January alone.
Talked to her, and what she says she found were pretty clear red flags that needed to be reported to authorities.
I had the master key, and I went in there, and I came across a lot of things, and I was like, that don't seem right.
33rd place in the Lake Meadows neighborhood. She says residents get advance notice that they'll be making the rounds and entering their units. When no one answered the door, she says she let herself in.
I came across some C4, some explosives, a rifle, a lot of fake IDs, a lot of fireman stuff, a lot of police force stuff, and it just looked like it was fake, you know?
Those findings are very strange, aren't they? Why do I say that? I don't know. No idea. No idea. In TikTok, this is just the news. Like I said, you'll need to pay attention.
Let's go! Get out of the door! You want to run your hands? Get out! Get out! Get out! I didn't touch you. You were on my gun. Come and touch me because my man's right there. Come and put your hands on me. I ain't driving crazy. But on my goddamn ass. I went to another lane. Get out of my face.
That's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out this one right here. Thanks again. Until next time.